All right, hello. Let's see. Here we go. Yeah, I'm actually pretty pumped about how, like, the thing I'm really trying to do here is figure out how to approach actually creating autonomous agents. Because it's easy to create like mechanism to do so, but if you're working in a repository, there's a lot of stuff you have to put into place to actually make it work. And it's such a... I'm trying to think of... There's this concept when things are like too easy to get going, it becomes increasingly harder to do it right. Right? There's something about that tension. And I feel that that is the way with AI. And you need to set some like restrictions in place that makes it hard to use it, which sounds weird, but those restrictions or guardrails is going to be the thing that makes it actually work well. So the problem with like putting guardrails in the code base, well, I guess, how should I put this? So we had this approach now where we kind of codifying the instructions. And how should I put this? Yeah. So, okay. So what I mean to say is that if you start using Claude Code locally, and it doesn't matter what you do, there's always escape hatches all the freaking time. And it just prevents you from actually making the effort to build the guardrails that enables the agent to do it on its own. So I've been trying to find like, okay, where's the root place of setting up guardrails that forces you to enable the agent to do things on its own. And I think that's why I've been so interested in sandboxes. Well, partly because I worked a lot on sandboxes, but it's just intuitively where agents should do their work. They shouldn't do it locally on a computer. And I've always used security as like an argument, but I never thought about it from a security perspective. It's that we're not creating the correct constraints to enable the agents to work on their own, because it's so low threshold for us to jump in and help it move on, or validate something, or copy pasting some error logs, or jump into a service, or like it's too easy for ourselves to include ourselves in the process. Anyways, but a really good starting point is just stop using Claude Code locally. Just go remote, go into the cloud. And this isn't very well documented, I think, and not a lot of people are making videos on this, as far as I can see. But they do have a really nice setup. You can just choose Cloud, and it will clone your repository, and it automatically installs the GitHub MCP server so that you can do like Git operations. And they have this GitHub proxy installed in the environment. So all of that stuff just works. But you do have to configure something. So for example, this my env here, we do like an npm install, and I'm also installing Chromium because I wanted to be able to validate its work without having to open an actual browser and reproduce the state that it's working on. It can just mount a component in a specific state, take a screenshot, take a look at it, and that artifact can also be used in human review. Anyways, and as I understand it, when this setup script is run, this is cached on Anthropic's infra. But yeah, anyways, but another thing is secrets. so the thing about running in sandboxes or running in the cloud, it's a lot more challenging than running it locally, just setting things up. Like even just going in here and actually, oh, there's a setup script thing. Oh, I need to insert this. This is where I should do npm install. You don't think about this stuff when you do it locally. You kind of just do it. But here you have to know that you have to go in here and set that stuff up. And then what do you do about secrets? Like you shouldn't put secrets in here. So like what do you do? And there isn't really any like common approaches to this. Like in other services like Vercel and GitHub even, like you put the secrets in some web dashboard and it's exposed to the environment, but that's not true here. And I don't think any sandbox service really deals with this as like first class concept of secrets management. But we're gonna try an approach here. Which is going to allow us to, and the thing is that you want to share this with the team, right? This is also part of the thing. It's like you can easily get going with AI locally for yourself on your own computer. But if you want to actually make them work on their own, you want to share it with the team. It's complex. So I'm super happy to see Anthropic actually, and also Codex, or I mean OpenAI, they're also embracing like running their own infrastructure, but they're still behind on like just making it work seamlessly. So we are gonna try to set up some secrets here, and the approach here is that we're using we're going to actually encode the secrets into the repositories. We're going to commit the secrets, but they are encoded or encrypted, I guess is the term. And what that means is that these are development secrets. So what this means is that if anyone else is going to jump onto this, they can literally just go in and you can share an environment with someone else. So they can just go in, click the environment, and then it works. That's the beauty of it, is that if you make this effort, it's going to be so super nice for anyone else to do this. And we learned this at Code Sandbox as well. Like when we did the cloud development thing, like the onboarding there is no onboarding. You just go in and start coding because you don't have to set up anything, which is pretty nice. Okay, but we're gonna test this. So okay. So this creates a and this is the thing that annoys me. This is, yeah, that didn't even work. Perfect. Did it say anything? I wish this was simpler. Like I can't even get to a second step here before it like, and there's like 6 fucking steps to make secrets work, which is crazy. Like you could use something like AWS, but then you have to set up an AWS account. There's like nothing that just makes it work. So I'm trying here to make to do like there's a complexity of going to a service, registering an account, setting up a CLI, and all, and you have to probably set up a project for your specific repo, put the secrets in there. It's just compared to, and this was also the challenge at Code Sandbox, it's like it's so easy to do it locally. And it's the same for secrets. Like you just have, like we have in this project, I think. Oh no, we don't have it here. But anyways, you have a .n file, right? .n example, whatever. And you just copy that. But the problem then is if you're a new person in the project, you have to go and ask people like, oh, what's the tokens I need to use here to get this thing running? But it's very, very simple, especially if you're on a project on your own. And then compare that to, oh, I have to go in and set up my env here. I have to go and configure secrets. I have to go and install Chromium because there's no browser in the Claude sandbox that I can connect to. Like, there's so much effort, but I truly believe that effort is so worth it. And there must be ways for us to reduce that effort, like the needed effort to have Claude running in a cloud environment with everything it needs. Anyways, I'm rambling. Why isn't this working? Is this not working? I get... Oh, what happened there? Oh, I have to create it. Okay, but why? Yeah. There has to be a simpler way of doing this. Anyways, we're just gonna go through it because I haven't really done this before. So we're just gonna go through it and see what happens. Okay, so we're gonna have a subsyaml. Was it .subsyaml? Yeah. And it's whatever. And then we're gonna have a new file. Yeah, let's see, git ignore .env. So we're gonna have a .env file. Yeah, and this is like just as well, I guess secrets. Sorry, we can do secrets. Wait, was it secrets? Secrets.env. Rename. Okay, and that's the thing we're gonna ignore, secrets.env. Which is also, like, for me as like a developer experience, this is kind of weird as well. That you kind of temporarily set it up in the repo. I don't know. Let's just go through it. Okay, so we're gonna insert like a silly thing. Oh, where is it? Secrets. My secret equals foo. And then we're supposed to encrypt the thing. No matching creation rules found. Why? Wasn't it .subs? .yaml? Get this error. Oh, was it? No. Oh, sorry, it's the regex. Wait. No matching creation rules? Oh. So it needs to... Okay. Okay. Interesting. Anyways, so this is something you can, especially if you have a private repository, you can push this and these can be like your development secrets. And if you would be compromised, like you're gonna have like a private key that you're gonna use with Claude or the Claude environment. And if that gets compromised, you can't really do anything with that key. But if you would get access to that, and if you get access to the repository, you don't have that key. So those secrets, you can't use them. So you have to get access to both that private key that you only expose through the Claude environment, and you have to get access to the repository. And even if that happens, you can, it's like development secrets, so you can circle them. So yeah, it's pretty safe. Okay, so we have that secret, and now, yeah, we want to add this to the repo. I want to call this something else. I want to call it, and I want to call it dev-env or something. What do we call it? .env .staging, or yeah, that's what we call it. Cool. So that will be /env staging. No. Oh, sorry. That's staging. Okay. So let's do it again. No, wait, how do I want to do this? Yeah. .enc.staging. Fine. We were missing something. Oh yeah, it was a git ignore. Oh. Yeah, I'm not sure about the naming here. Let's not focus on that. Okay, cool. And then we're gonna commit that. Secrets. Cool. And then inside the setup script, let's see, my env. Something like that. And then environment. Where is my private key? Add hook. But where the hell is my private key? Discard plain text. Oh, it's useless. Where's, do I have to? Is the private key inside keys, or where the hell is it? I'm confused. Oh, let's just give it the whole thing. Yeah, whatever. Save. Where do I get the private key? I just wonder if there's I was thinking about it would be so much better if you could just have your secrets on GitHub. Like if GitHub had a secrets manager, that would be the best thing. So you could just use the GitHub CLI or MCP server or whatever, and you could just basically go and grab the secrets you have in the repository. That would be so much better. It's such a hassle to set this stuff up. There has to be a simpler way. Anyways, we're just gonna make it work, and then... Oh yeah, okay, so it is inside that file. Okay, and then we have to go in. This is horrible. Claude, what was it? Settings, JSON. We need to add this hook. And then we need to create... Yeah, and this is... let's see. What was it called? Load secrets. Or load... Excuse me. What was it? I called it .env staging. And this is going to be shoved into something called a Claude env file. Or, yeah. Okay. But we also have to do, don't we have to make it runnable? No, it's fine. Oh, yeah. Okay, is that it? Claude reading secrets. Okay, so in theory, let's see what happens if we... Hi, are you there? So I have a feeling Claude was hallucinating when I asked it to do you have access to an envar called, what did I call it? My secret. I am just testing if you can see the value. Yeah, perfect. That didn't work. And I have absolutely no idea. Rand setup script. Did you... I guess this is deterministic as well. Oh, look at that. My bad. My bad. Yeah, I just, in my head, there is this like really, really pleasant way of just having a repo and just run it in the cloud. And there just isn't such a thing. It just requires a shit ton of effort. And maybe that's fine. Maybe that is what we're gonna do as engineers moving forward. It's just setting up all this environment stuff for agents and giving them instructions and giving them tools, and all repos are different and all tooling needs variations, and you have to think about token efficiency and all of this stuff, and that's fine. But then this will rather like be a set of like guides or whatever. But I think this is the big challenge now, is that we are not used to spending so much effort scaffolding our projects. Like, it's very low friction to scaffold a project. You can just get going. Like, we have this like Vite boilerplate thing, and oh, you want some secrets, just create an N file, and oh, you want to test it, just run the dev server and jump into your browser. Like, it's so low friction. Like architecture, like just go and create some components. How are you going to organize your code? Well, whatever, it doesn't matter. Do what suits you. While with coding agents, you have to put a lot of effort into this. And this is really what like good engineering looks like. It's a well thought out architecture and environment, and minimal friction in iterating on the code, scaling up the code, all of this stuff. But typically that only happens on very, very complex projects. But with AI, you have to have it from the first day, because they completely depend on these things to do the right thing. Yeah, anyways, let's test it again. Hello there. How can you see the value of an envar called my secret? Was it? I can't. What was it? Yeah, my secret. Can you look at the bash file in .claude? You are supposed to and the settings, you are supposed to run this script when the session starts. But maybe you can run it manually, or maybe you see some error happen related to automatically do this. What about in the repo? There is a .claude folder. Well, that explains it. Oh wait, am I on a branch? For fuck's sake. Of course I am. Fuck. My bad. Okay, cool. Maybe now it works. Doop. Hi there. But yeah, I'm thinking about at least to begin with, I just want to run through all these challenges. I think it's a really good starting point. Like, I'm thinking about like this guide in my head. Like, how do you ideally work with agents? How do you make them autonomously contribute to your code base and with high quality? And from the perspective of actually creating guardrails and even be able to do it autonomously. Like, there's all these hacks around making your agents run on your local computer over time. Don't make your computer go to sleep. But like, everything is solved if you run it in a sandbox. It's just the experience of it that sucks currently. But Anthropic has gotten pretty far with this. Can you see the value of my secret n variable? So it's more. Do you see why we have a .claude settings JSON file which should include a start hook to load the end? The matcher is wrong. Hooks don't filter by a matcher string? What are you talking about? What's the matcher field? We have subs, but what is a matcher field? Oh, sorry. This is what it. Okay, please fix that, and then let us try to manually run the script to test. Okay. Where's didn't I add? Oh, here it is. I added this to the setup script for this environment. Could you just run it now so we can verify that everything works? Oh, it's blocking the download from GitHub. But I have outbound access to everything. But yeah, this is what I mean. Like, it's just too difficult to do anything. Like, it's so limited and shitty. God damn it. I'm frustrated. Okay, let's at least... Can I merge it from here? Yeah, I don't know. I don't fucking know. Why is that limited? I gave you access to all the internet. Is there a different way to install? Yeah. App is available. I think. Is app available in the end? Okay. Yeah, install it from there. Seriously? Why is this so difficult? Why is this so difficult? If available. Oh. Why is curl blocked? But this is probably like Anthropic environment thing. The script uses Claude file, but my temp file assignment. Wait. So there was no... from before. I think it, like, Claude was just hallucinating a bunch of stuff related to this. I have no idea how this works. Why was this even needed? Why was this file even needed? I use this guy. I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing. I think it's good that I don't find any pleasure in doing these low level things, because I want it to be a smooth experience. When it runs session start, it points to a temp file where the hook writes. But why did not work? Was it not set? Oh, try. Oh, so nothing got written. Oh, okay. But now you can look at my secret. Oh. Okay, so let's grab the thing. You know why vget works but not curl? Super weird. Curl, the difference was that. Oh, the redirect. Okay, so we need to. Oh, okay, so we need a specific version. Oh, so there was a. Okay, there was a redirect that didn't work. Oh my god. So we're gonna do. This is just horrible. But yeah, we're gonna see if we can find a better way to do this. Can you see if my secret is available to you in the environment? Yeah, this is interesting. But maybe it would be easier to just use a service like AWS. Yeah, that's fine. That is fine. Okay, but it works. But this was a horrible experience. Really, really shitty experience. So we need to talk about that. So I went through this guide, and it was a pretty horrible experience. I'm trying to. So what I'm reflecting on is how easy it is to scaffold a project locally. And as soon as you move to a sandbox, everything just gets super, super complex. So, and one aspect of this is you have typically these like development secrets you use to connect to databases and whatever it might be. And you can just create like an end file. And even typically like development servers like Vite and things like that just picks up on everything, and it kind of just works. But we need to make this work reliably in a sandbox, and there's so many benefits to this. It's like more secure. You can share that environment with anyone on your team, and they don't have to set up any secrets and all of this stuff. But yeah, can you take a look at this guide and then use the web and figure out like what's the minimal friction we can create to make this work? Boom. And we shouldn't use Sonnet low on this. We should really. Yeah, we can do an opus. We can try the new opus. Okay. Is solid, but the DX friction is front-loaded and brittle in exactly the spots that will hurt the team. Is empty when the hook runs, meaning that the krypton eject step silently fails. The hook matcher is key bootstrap problems. Every new team member still needs to manage SOP's age in the cloud environment settings. Okay. Skip use Doppler. Okay. Okay, but this looks much better. But you have to choose like yeah. let's try using Opus 4.0. So I want to do a second review on this. So the guide was just had some mistakes like the matches thing and how to download SOPs and all of this. But is it really required? Yeah, and another thing is, as I understand it, Anthropic allows you to create an environment and then share that environment with other team members. So they don't have to create their own like environment variables and setup scripts, right? That needs to be verified. And then it's really the simplest approach here that you have to subscribe to some other service combined with a CLI tool to make secrets work. It really sucks that you can't just use GitHub for this, because your repo is already on GitHub. So why? It would be so nice to use GitHub as the secrets manager. But as I understand, they don't really have a mechanism like that. But yeah, I want, as I said, I want the least friction possible in terms of like adding new dependencies and all of this stuff to get these secrets to work reliably and safely in a sandbox. Could you do another round and think about this? I'm not really teaching anything. I'm just sharing frustration of how difficult it is to set up a proper agent environment. I've been working on sandboxes for a long time, and I've felt the friction of getting AI to run in sandboxes for a long time. And I don't think it's possible to create a seamless experience as like a sandbox provider. I think Anthropic and OpenAI, they have to implement infrastructure to run agents in the cloud, and they do. But it still feels like there's so much friction to do it, because there's so many other considerations and investments you have to do. But the end result of this is amazing, because you'll get completely like self-contained, secure, autonomous agents running in the cloud. You're forced to give it tooling that you don't lean on when you work locally, like the browser and stuff like that. You really invest in proper tooling, which is exactly what the agents need to verify their work. You want to create like an environment where the agent can do all the work. And I think we forget when we run things locally how much we involve ourselves in the agent loop. And we're kind of like, oh, you can't figure this out. No, you can't figure it out because you haven't invested the time to create the tooling that is actually necessary for an agent to verify its work and all of this stuff. Anyways, so that's what I'm working on. I'm not teaching anyone anything. I guess what I'm teaching is that even after over 15 years in the business, you still get stuck and frustrated. Your intuition is correct. When you share Claude code, cloud environment variables, and setup scripts goes with it. Great. Asking exactly the encrypted story you're imagining. I know that. Yeah. Oh, so yeah, Devin. Oh, OpenAI Codex actually does this. Interesting. Love this. Have they said it now? Yeah. Okay, so they're probably going to build this. I didn't know that Codex had it. That's interesting. But this is what's going to happen this year. I think... oh, no. I'm just working on agent, like Claude environments. So this will be applicable to any project. It's how you approach using agents to write code. What environment do you put the agent in? How do you instruct it? How do you create the proper tooling for it to validate its work? All of this stuff. Because if you just start using an AI locally on your computer on a fresh folder, you're going to get stuck at some point. It feels super powerful in the beginning, but it doesn't scale at all. And you end up with like shitty, sloppy code because there's no engineering behind it. Yeah. Only to avoid. Paste them into the shared environment variables field and the shared environment. Yeah, maybe that is the way to do it. One of the lighter options, not the heaviest. It needs... Yeah, so maybe that's the thing. It's like, let's just shove the secrets into the environment. That's fine for me, or the environment config. Like this thing. Just put them in here. That's fine. Or we could use that other thing. Well, this is the thing I'm reflecting on. I'm not sure how this is gonna pan out, because I think a lot of this friction is gonna be solved by the providers like Anthropic and OpenAI. So I was thinking more about just going through the painful process, learn, and then really more. So there's way more to this than just setting up Claude in the sandbox. There's also, how do you write instructions? How do you architect the actual like code base in a way that the agent can better follow those instructions? How do you create tooling? Like some applications show a web UI, other applications runs native. Like, how do you actually verify the work in the sandbox if you do that kind of stuff? So yeah, but I'm not sure. I'm just using this stream to rant and reflect and try to get some kind of conclusion at the end. Maybe a set of guides, or yeah, I don't know. We'll see. But okay, I think my conclusion on this is, for personal projects, you can just use the thing. Just use this, because this is kind of like what you're doing already in locally. And it's arguably safer to do it like this compared to that, because it's not on your local computer, it's in Anthropic's infra. And then if you really care about this, you would go with something like AWS Secrets Manager, or this other thing. What was it? Doppler or something? Yeah, Doppler. Free tier. What is Doppler? Yeah, interesting. Okay, that's gonna be the conclusion. I don't want to spend a second more on this. So let's remove this thing. Let's remove this thing. And then we're gonna remove this thing, this thing, this thing, and this thing. Fix, remove secrets approach. Okay, cool. So let's rather that's a wrap on. So if this was going to be a guide, it would be like, depending on the project, just go and put your secrets into the environment variables, or use something like Doppler or AWS to share your secrets in the sandbox. Yeah. Cool. So let's see if we can do something else here. What can we change? What can we change? Yeah, I want to have some proper icons, maybe. Yeah, let's try to do that. Let's see how it would solve that thing. So I want to have some proper icons for the app. Could you go and do some research on what would be the best icons package we could use here? Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting. And then, okay, I'm gonna try Doppler. I wanna try that. And then I'm gonna set up like Firebase or what's it called, Supabase or something for persistence, and then see how we can approach that. I thought there was like an auto mode for models. And maybe we can actually pivot this project to become that blog thing. That would be nice. Because I have a feeling that's kind of how it has to end up. Because it's just a set of patterns and approaches. And there's no... You can't framework this thing. Is this right? Blah, blah, blah. Okay, we're just going to use Lucid React. Okay, let's do what it recommends. Okay, cool. Let's go with your suggestion. Proceed. And now I'm still interacting with it, right? The whole point there is that it should actually go and do everything on its own. I wonder how... I guess that's how you use goal. Yep, please go ahead. show me how it looks first. Oh, why does it need to install it? That should have been done in the environment. Why didn't that work? Why did you have to install Chromium? This is part of the environment setup. I'm confused by that. Could you help me understand why you needed to install it? Desktop app. Oh, story default. But this is cool. Like I can actually see. I really like this, that you can just get a screenshot. It's really, really cool. But yeah, that looks great. Yeah, but yeah, but I already have that. Do you have access to the environment script for this environment? And it did run it, right? Oh. There's no... Downloads the description. Also, it did not seem to run the script. But do you know how I can force it to run the script? I think it's cached. Yeah, is there a way to kind of force it to rerun? But still. Yeah, I'm not sure what to do about this. How to force it. Can you take a look at those docs and help me figure it out? Yeah, this is so annoying. The first time we start a session in the in the environment settings, yeah. Oh, interesting. Okay, so, but maybe that is the strategy, is you don't... Oh yeah, this is fascinating. So there is a strategy here of using start session hook to prep latest to prep end. So it's kind of like you could even have these bash scripts that you create for doing certain things. Like even taking a screenshot, it's like you just embed into the script. If Chromium isn't there, it will install it. So it's kind of lazily doing it. So if there's like a job where it doesn't need, well, I guess it doesn't matter. It must be much easier to just shove everything in there for every start. But okay, we can try that instead. Yeah, installing system tools. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, cool. But I'm gonna, could you create that hook for me? With the npm install and the npx playwright install Chromium. And then I'm gonna remove the environment script. Let's just bring that into the same PR here, which you actually can create after you created the hook. Always allow. Yeah, this is interesting. Yeah, in my head there's like all these like there's so many things that needs to come together. It's very interesting. And it's almost like I just want to write, almost like, yeah, just create a website that just explains all this stuff. Yeah, but it didn't. Why did you not follow the PR workflow? I saw there was an update as well, allowing, let's see if I can find this. Claude. There's a new mid-conversation system messages. So this article is interesting to me because I'm very curious about how you would use this in practice. So for example, I've created like a Claude MD file, but instead of like including everything in that single file, I reference other files. And those other files are also system instructions, but they are lazily loaded. And I feel like Claude often doesn't pick up on things. And I was curious if it's possible to like load those files as system instructions based on this change. Or is this more like an API thing? Yeah, whatever. Help me. Oh. Oh, that's interesting. Could you go and find because I believe we create that folder programmatically using a script. Could you go and look at that script and then fix the issue so it doesn't create these nested directories? Pointing to that, but this feature doesn't quite solve your Claude. The pure API feature, yeah. Yeah. Move the most critical stuff to the top. Okay, interesting. Yeah, that's still a problem. Oh, interesting. But so it was a screenshot script that caused this. But don't we actually create a work folder at the beginning of every session? I thought the agent's MD file instructed to run like some kind of start work kind of script that creates that work folder. Or was it that the screenshots script tried to find a folder and couldn't find it and then created it? I don't think the screenshot script should actually create any folder. It should be there from before. Does that make sense? Oh, but does but this is interesting. Does when you start a new session in Cloud, like Claude in the cloud, does it always create a branch for you? So it like clones the repository, creates a branch, and then starts the session. So I know that I'm always on a new branch. Always start on a pre-create. Oh, nice. Oh, but this is great. Then we can simplify it. Let us drop. Yeah, how should we do this? So first of all, we should use the existing start session hook to create this folder deterministically. But make sure that we handle the subdirectory issue. But then I think maybe we should use an environment variable. So basically in the start session hook, we're going to create that work folder. Then we're going to put the path to that work folder into an environment variable. And that environment variable can be used by our scripts to put stuff into that folder. Does that make sense? And then it's always there, right? So we don't need any specific check. But this is also part of the whole sandbox thing, is that if you work locally, it's so easy to mess up your branches. But when you work in a sandbox, that sandbox represents a branch, and you always know that the conversation area is always tied to a branch, which is exactly what you want. Set a work folder, small that sanitizes the branch and creates and writes work folder path. Update Claude. Yep, update script start work to call the same script. Yep, this looks great. Only that I don't think we need the start work script anymore, because that was used to like verify the branch and everything. But now, since we're using the cloud environment, we have predictable branches with sessions and everything. So I don't think we need it. Yeah, it's gonna be. Yeah, we're gonna pivot this, like the actual app here, to become more like I don't know, blogish service. And then we're just going to use the project itself to kind of figure out how to do things. And then as we learn things, we can write more details into this like blog app. Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. Because now I'm just tracking my notes here, which is like, yeah, not ideal. And we should probably, like, ideally there's like server-side rendering. We can change to use something else like Astro or something, and we can deploy it on Vercel. Yeah. But this reminds me a lot about TypeScript. How fucking annoying it was for a very long time to ship libraries. So you had to ship, well, not TypeScript specifically, but it was kind of part of it. Just the setup of creating and shipping a library for JavaScript, it's just insane. Like, it's gotten much better now, but it was insane because you had to manage TypeScript, you had to manage especially CommonJS versus ESM. How do you expose the types? It's like it's just horrible. And I feel like this is the same. It's like we don't have the tooling for us to actually use these agents in a sandbox environment and get all the benefits of that. Fantastic. I think we're gonna end on that note, and then oh, there's something weird going on here as well. When it creates these, yeah, for some reason it inserts these things. I'm not sure why it does that. So the images doesn't work. Like this kind of shit, right? You just want to show a fucking image of what it did on the PR, and then you have to deal with that kind of shit. Like, none of this just works. None of it. Anyways. Merge. Okay, cool. I have to drop out. But yeah, that was a rough one. But I'm happy. We learned some things. We moved further, and we cleaned up some things. And yeah, let's see if I can do a stream tomorrow, and then we can pivot the project so it becomes more clear what we're trying to do here. Using the project to build a guide of how to set up projects. Kind of thing. Anyways, bye.